Oh, it's been a long, long day. Wow. Yes. I started today from yesterday, kind of a bit tired and just maybe eating and watching movies. And then I tried to get to sleep, but I couldn't sleep like late or early this morning, around 4 or so. So I just decided to get up, and then one of the things I've been doing recently that has been helping me is kind of not diagramming, but kind of breaking things, features that I want to build into exocortex down step by step. So I broke the features down. So the two features that I worked on today are the collections feature, which is basically an automatic way to manage your notes basically. So for instance, I have two collections, church stuff, and startups. So basically, I have a prompt that takes in all your collections, blah blah blah, sends it over to ChatGPT, and then I ask it to just what classify the message that was sent into one of those um, collections or categories that you have, and then it classifies it, and then that's also saved to the DB, and then we can basically pull all those with that same collection type and then display it on a page for you. That was not the craziest feature, but I mean, I guess it was more on the other side. But I find that more as I code on this stuff, like stuff becomes easier to think through stuff, and yeah, it's been a pretty good one. I think I just like have a small issue which I also have in the second feature that I created, and the issue is essentially that my Mongo schemas, which is just a library on MongoDB, has a bit of issues. Like it's not saving like the new fields that I added to it. So I'm trying to figure out what the problem is there. So the second feature that I worked on was the to-do list, which is so one of the features that I worked on recently for exocortex was when a message comes in, I have a prompt that basically runs through it and breaks it down into digestible chunks. So some of them are actions, some of them are summaries. So, for instance, if I was saying, write a cold email to the CEO of this company, letting them know about your product and giving them a free blah blah blah, free promo and stuff like that. You have to create that um, promo code on Stripe or something like that for them to be able to use your application for free, blah blah blah. In that kind of case, I send that kind of message, and then it's broken down into and then so actionables and summaries. So basically, an actionable or an action will be send message to the CEO. A summary will be something like you need to send the message. You need to send this email so as to tell them about your product so that they can get you into their distribution channel or something like that. You know, you could also have something like, oh, this person likes J.R.R. Tolkien's book, or, who wrote Lord of the Rings. So use a bit of Lord of the Rings humor, so that can also be in the summary. So it basically breaks it down into those things, and then you can see the actionables, the actions, or the summaries. So what you would do on the to-do list page, which is the second feature that I created, is that it goes through all your message items, which is what they are called in the DB, and then it basically finds everything that is an action and then presents it for you there, and then you can click into it and then see, okay, I have to send a message to the CEO of this company about my product, blah blah blah, and then so there's a description, and then you can read it and you, oh, okay, so this is what I have to do, and then basically you know what you have to do. But the aim for so that's the AI to do list. But the aim for actually creating the actions and summaries is actually to be able to attach AI agents automatically to them to get them done. So it's a situation where you could just have an AI agent write up that email for you, and just log into your Google account and send it off to that person for you without your interference. Or you could have a case where it basically notifies you. So I'm thinking, so it's one of the features that I'll tackle next. AI agents. I've been looking into Creo AI. I've been looking into Llama Index. I've been looking into simply just creating my own, basically via prompts, to be honest, with OpenAI's APIs. I'm still waiting for the 2,500 in OpenAI credits, which will make my life so much easier. Um, yeah, so the AI agent is a key part. Now, I feel like I might be getting into the weeds of doing too much on a product before launching it. And I mean, yeah, I know that, but more and more now, I'm just trying to build something that I want to use. So I'm planning very soon, once I before I launch, I think maybe even this week, once I have the kinks in place, I would create an account for myself on Prod, and then buy some of the things that I need to buy to make things smooth and awesome for me. And then I move over from mem.ai to that place, and then I just export all my messages from mem.ai and then put them on my own platform, exocortex. So um, so it's more, I'm building it more for something that I need, which is kind of what I saw in a book that basically collected all of Paul Graham's essays. He says basically just build what you need now instead of trying to think of what somebody would need. So I'm just trying to build what I need right now, and yeah, hopefully other people need that also. I'm also thinking of when I want to launch, creating the landing page in Framer instead of using the templated landing page that I have currently. So I think that would be a good one to make it more classic. Some of the distribution channels that I've been thinking about is reaching out to productivity influencers, YouTubers, and likes like Tiago Forte, Ali Abdal, and all sort of them, and basically just giving them, free access to the product and letting them use it and see if it's something that makes any sense for them. And then basically they can talk about it if they want. They cannot talk about it if they don't want to. But that would drum up a bit of things. Maybe further down the line, paying a number of influencers to use and talk about it, and getting feedback from them on what could be improved, what could not be improved. But I'm building this mainly for myself, to be honest. But of course, when customers come in, you want to satisfy whatever they need. But mainly, I'm using myself as a customer now. What do I need? How do I get this tool to a place where it will serve me well? Is what I'm thinking right now. Other distribution channels, I'm thinking of launching on AppSumo. I'm putting like a one-time fee there so that they can pay and have access to the platform forever. Although that's a bit okay, well, that the best idea? With but I've seen a number of people use it. I was watching a video by Pat Walls on a AI startup, Cast Magic, and they did something similar to that, and then it brought them a lot of users. I think they said about 10,000 users. So I think it's a wise approach to go. If I do something like $100 one time payment fee, I think that works quite well to bring in I mean, if I have 10,000 users at that point, I have a million in revenue. So makes quite a bit of sense, and then I can just have recurring customers as I go on from other places. So the pricing model is actually something that I'm still thinking about to a certain degree. So yeah, yeah. So I think I forgot about some of the things that I wanted to speak about. I think, okay, well, I've been seeing some pretty cool AI jobs out there that speak about, like basically you just have to you have to train code. I say you have to train code, you have to train LLMs for them. So basically it's like data annotation, but rather what you do is it maybe produces a body of code, and I think Scale AI, I think maybe they're worth 7 billion evaluation or something like that, is one of the people that's hiring for this. So basically they have tasks where the LLM generates code, and then you're expected to evaluate it and give feedback to the LLM. So they have tasks like that. They also have it, I think, for chemistry, for physics, nuclear physics, and blah blah blah. But yeah, so pretty interesting jobs. Then I saw one also recently, G2I. I think they're hiring for a Y Combinator new startup company, or maybe for themselves. I'm not quite sure. Saw the founder is actually also a Christian and stuff like that. So pretty interesting stuff, pretty cool. So they have something, and they pay quite well. Well, I guess they're from the US, so comparing what they pay to what would be paid in Lithuania is a bit different. So that's understandable. Yeah, but I think what I forgot and remember just now was I used Claude Opus 3.5 to write React code this morning. Oh my god, this was a sweet experience. It's literally like I never have to write front end code in my life again. This was awesome. Like he knew what I wanted. I could send it screenshots of like components and stuff like that, and he got it down to the T. This was awesome. Like wrong, like I had a button account, like how you have like your face or your picture, maybe like on Google or something like that, and you click on it and it shows a drop down, and my drop down was I guess right aligned or something like that. So basically it was causing an overflow of the page, which I didn't want, and I just couldn't. I didn't know enough CSS to to figure out how to solve that. So I just plugged it in, told it what the problem was, and it fixed it perfectly. Oh my god! And I used it to basically write up new components and basically what I needed, and it did it perfectly. And I thought that I would have to pay for it, but I've been using it since morning. I've not been sending that many requests, but I've been sending maybe at most on average maybe one request per hour, or maybe even lesser than that by the average. But I've been using it, and I've been using it for free. So, or maybe they have a monthly cap. I don't know, but it's something I might consider paying for if ChatGPT doesn't catch up to them in terms of coding speed, because one of the major things that I use ChatGPT for is the coding side of things. I think one of is more of the major things. I also use it for a bit of transcription, but I think I have another system for that now with exocortex and the like. So yeah, I mean, Claude is really good at that. But it kind of led me to thinking about um, building a SaaS, which I don't know how legal it will be, where instead of paying like multiple subscriptions for ChatGPT, for Anthropic's Claude, for Gemini, which I don't think many people are that interested in Gemini, but there are various models out there that are not necessarily open source, and you have to pay a subscription to them. But their APIs are just as good. I don't know if they do anything to enrich the prompt. Well, I think they do, but I don't know if those enrichments don't happen with the APIs also. If they do, I think if it's legal also, a good SaaS to build will be one where some people can just pay one subscription and they can access the latest models from ChatGPT, the latest models from um, Claude, the latest models from Llama, which is open source anyway. But basically, it brings all those models into one place, and then people can use it in the same way that they will use it on the individual platforms. And basically, so if they're thinking, oh, I need to code, Claude does it best, they can just switch to that without having to pay a separate 18 euros or something like that for Claude, and then paying another 23 euros, which is what I pay for ChatGPT. So just something thinking out there. I think it might be a good one if it's legal, and if there is no decrease in quality from using the platform and then switching to the API. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to launch exocortex. uh Let me see. I still have a few things on my feature list. A main part, if I can, once I can get the AI agents, because my main claim to fame is that achieve more by doing less, which is basically that you are giving back more of your time to do achieve more by basically doing less, which basically means that some of the tasks that you would have to do is automated for you. So, and a main the key part of that, or the only part of that, is the AI agents being involved. So once I get the AI agents up and running, I think then I can launch. But before that, I don't think it's wise to launch. I can start using the product myself to test out kinks, and also to just have my notes saved and stuff like that. But I don't think I can launch before that, because then I would not be fulfilling the promise that I make. So yeah, thinking of how to bring AI agents into the game, to be honest, is a key part of that. So I don't know. I think that's everything that I want. Today's a bit longer. It's been a while since it's been this long, but yeah, just a couple of things in that realm. So yeah, exocortex is going here and there. So let's just see when I launch. I just have to get like good distribution. So I think AppSumo will be really crucial to that. Also reaching out to some of those people I mentioned. I don't really know how, if they will respond. I've tried before, they never responded, but I mean, I was not tenacious as I could have been. So maybe I'll just try, and of course I guess there's ready strategies and posting on Twitter and blah blah blah. So, and then of course also ranking very high on product hunt would be a key part of that also. So um once I can get AI agents in place. So my methodology for figuring out the AI agent is still using myself as a customer, for instance. So I think about what would I need AI agents for on a particular note dump. So for instance, I'm thinking, so I record a startup idea, it goes into the system, it gets transcribed, it breaks it down into actionable steps. I have those steps. So for instance, I would need some sort of validation. Can you go out and do some validation for me? Maybe you can post on Reddit, or maybe you can, for instance, pull up like maybe clone the repo of the template that I use, the boilerplate template from Maclo that I use, basically spin up a very quick landing page with the main claim to fame and blah blah blah, and then send it over to somewhere like post on Reddit and then see if they are basically does some validation for me, not just random chats with ChatGPT to tell me whether it's valid or not, but does a bit of validation for me, and then I can know if I should start building or not. But that almost feels like another product on itself. But I'm actually scrolling through product on one day. I saw a product that was like that basically, I can't remember what it's called, maybe it was Pockets, that basically you can just give it your startup idea and it builds a landing page, basically builds everything that you would usually want to build to validate, and then then you can start marketing it yourself. So there are just many ideas that I have like that. So maybe a breakdown of what I would need to do, cloning the GitHub repo, blah blah blah, and then it does a basic number of those tasks. So, but one of the things that I've identified is I'll probably need a researcher AI agent, a writer, maybe an email writer AI agent. Some of the things that thought about, a marketing AI agent, maybe a cold emailing AI agent. So some of these things that I'll just put on. I'm trying to find if there's a library that just makes it easy for me. Crew AI, well, makes it a bit easier, but they don't have a JavaScript rendition yet. They are only in Python, so I really don't know quite yet. So that's what I'm doing so far. So waiting on 2,500 in OpenAI credits. We'll get it soon. But yeah, ciao.